Most people have no idea they're drinking their morning coffee completely wrong, and what I'm about to share with you might actually save your life. There's a simple powder that costs less than $5, sits in most grocery stores, and when added to your coffee, transforms it from something that drains your body into something that actually heals it. But here's what nobody tells you about this combination. You see, coffee on its own does something to your body that most people don't understand. And by the time you finish watching this, you're going to look at your morning cup completely differently. Now, I've spent decades studying how the human body actually works, not what the pharmaceutical companies want you to believe, not what's trending on social media, but what actually happens inside your cells when you consume certain things. And what I discovered about this particular powder changed everything I thought I knew about coffee. Before we get into what this powder is and why it works, you need to understand something critical about your body. Your body is not just a machine that runs on fuel. It's an incredibly intelligent system that's constantly trying to protect you, heal you, and keep you alive. But we keep getting in its way. We keep doing things that work against it instead of with it. And coffee is one of those things that can either work for you or against you, depending on how you consume it. The hidden truth about coffee in your body. Let me explain something that most doctors won't tell you because they simply don't know. When you drink coffee, especially on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, it does something very specific to your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands are these small but mighty organs that sit on top of your kidneys, and they're responsible for managing stress in your body. Coffee triggers these glands to release cortisol and adrenaline. Now, in small amounts, this isn't a problem. In fact, it's why you feel that energy boost. But here's the issue. When you do this every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, you're essentially whipping a tired horse. You're forcing your body to produce energy it doesn't actually have. Think about it like this. Imagine you have a bank account with a certain amount of money. Every time you drink coffee without the right support, you're making a withdrawal from that account. At first, you've got plenty in there, so you don't notice. But over time, those withdrawals add up, and suddenly you're running on empty, feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep, needing more and more coffee just to feel normal. This is why so many people hit a wall in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. They've been making these withdrawals for decades without making any deposits back into their health account. Their adrenal glands are exhausted, their energy is gone, and no amount of coffee helps anymore. But what if I told you there's a way to drink coffee that actually makes deposits instead of withdrawals? A way that supports your adrenal glands instead of depleting them? A way that gives you real sustainable energy instead of just borrowing it from tomorrow? That's where this powder comes in. The powder I'm talking about is cinnamon. Yes, simple cinnamon. But before you click away thinking this is too simple to work, let me explain the science behind why this combination is absolutely revolutionary for your health, especially as you get older. The ancient wisdom behind cinnamon. Cinnamon has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine systems around the world. The ancient Egyptians valued it more than gold. Traditional Chinese medicine has used it for over 4,000 years, and there's a reason why these ancient cultures prized it so highly. They understood something about this spice that modern medicine is only now beginning to rediscover. Cinnamon contains compounds called polyphenols. These are powerful antioxidants that protect your cells from damage. But that's just the beginning. What makes cinnamon truly special is how it interacts with your blood sugar levels. And this is absolutely critical to understand, especially when you're combining it with coffee. When you drink coffee, especially sweetened coffee or coffee with regular milk, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. This spike tells your pancreas to release insulin, which then causes your blood sugar to crash. And when your blood sugar crashes, what do you crave? More coffee. more sugar, more stimulants. It's a vicious cycle that keeps you trapped on this energy roller coaster all day long, but cinnamon changes everything. Studies have shown that cinnamon can lower blood sugar levels by up to 29%. It does this by improving insulin sensitivity and slowing down the breakdown of carbohydrates in your digestive tract. When you add cinnamon to your coffee, you're essentially creating a buffer that prevents those dramatic spikes and crashes. This means steady energy throughout the day, no more 3 o'clock crash. No more desperate need for that third or fourth cup of coffee. Your body starts running on real energy instead of borrowed energy. But the blood sugar benefit is just one piece of the puzzle. Let me tell you about what cinnamon does to inflammation in your body, because this is where things get really interesting. The inflammation connection. Inflammation is at the root of almost every chronic disease we see today. Heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's, cancer, they all have inflammation as a common denominator. And here's what most people don't realize. Coffee, while it has some anti-inflammatory properties, can also increase inflammation in certain people, especially if they're already dealing with adrenal fatigue or gut issues. But cinnamon is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory substances found in nature. It contains a compound called cinnamaldehyde, which is responsible for most of cinnamon's medicinal properties. This compound actively reduces inflammation throughout your entire body. It works at the cellular level, turning off the signals that cause inflammation in the first place. Think about what this means for your joints, for your heart, for your brain. Every single cell in your body benefits from reduced inflammation. People who start adding cinnamon to their coffee often report that their joint pain decreases. Their brain fog lifts, their digestion improves. These aren't coincidences. This is your body finally getting the support it needs to heal itself. And here's something else that's absolutely fascinating. Cinnamon has been shown to have neuroprotective properties. That means it protects your brain cells from damage and degeneration. In a world where Alzheimer's and dementia are becoming more common every year, this is information you need to pay attention to. Studies have found that cinnamon can prevent the buildup of a protein called tau in the brain. Tau tangles are one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. By preventing these tangles from forming, cinnamon may actually help protect you from cognitive decline as you age. Now combine this with coffee, which has its own neuroprotective benefits, and you've got a powerful brain-boosting combination. Coffee contains compounds that increase the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which is like fertilizer for your brain cells. When you combine the BDNF boost from coffee with the neuroprotective properties of cinnamon, you're giving your brain the best possible chance to stay sharp and healthy for decades to come. The metabolism and weight loss factor. Let's talk about something that concerns a lot of people, especially as they get older: weight gain. Specifically, that stubborn belly fat that seems impossible to lose no matter what you do. Here's what's happening. As you age, your metabolism naturally slows down. But it's not just about age. It's about what you've been doing to your metabolism for years. Remember those blood sugar spikes and crashes we talked about? Every time your blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin, and insulin is a storage hormone. It tells your body to store fat, especially around your midsection. Coffee alone doesn't help with this. In fact, if you're drinking sweetened coffee or coffee with sugar-filled creamers, you're making the problem worse. But when you add cinnamon, everything changes. Cinnamon has been shown to increase thermogenesis. That's the process by which your body burns calories to produce heat. It essentially revs up your metabolism naturally, without the jittery side effects of stimulants. One study found that cinnamon can increase metabolic rate by up to 20% for several hours after consumption. But there's more. Cinnamon also affects how your body stores fat. Remember insulin. Cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity, which means your body doesn't need to produce as much insulin to manage blood sugar. Less insulin means less fat storage. It's that simple. People who consistently add cinnamon to their coffee often notice that they lose weight without changing anything else about their diet or exercise routine. They're not starving themselves. They're not spending hours at the gym. They're simply supporting their metabolism the way nature intended. And here's something interesting. Cinnamon also helps reduce cravings. You know those intense sugar cravings that hit you in the afternoon? The ones that make you reach for cookies or candy or another sugary coffee drink? Those cravings are often caused by blood sugar imbalances. When you stabilize your blood sugar with cinnamon, those cravings disappear. You suddenly find it easier to make healthy food choices because you're not being driven by these intense chemical signals in your body. The cardiovascular revolution. Now let's discuss what might be the most important benefit of all, especially for seniors: heart health. Cardiovascular disease is still the #1 killer in most developed countries. And while there are many factors that contribute to heart disease, there are also simple, natural ways to protect yourself. Cinnamon has been extensively studied for its effects on heart health, and the results are remarkable. It's been shown to reduce several risk factors for heart disease simultaneously. First, it lowers LDL cholesterol, which is often called bad cholesterol, while leaving HDL cholesterol, the good kind, unchanged. Some studies have shown reductions in LDL cholesterol of up to 27%. Second, cinnamon lowers triglycerides. High triglycerides are another major risk factor for heart disease, and cinnamon has been shown to reduce them by up to 30% in some studies. Third, and this is crucial, cinnamon helps lower blood pressure. High blood pressure is called the silent killer because it often has no symptoms until it causes a heart attack or stroke. Cinnamon helps relax your blood vessels and improve circulation, naturally bringing blood pressure down to healthier levels. Now think about what coffee does to blood pressure. For many people, especially those sensitive to caffeine, coffee can raise blood pressure temporarily, but when you add cinnamon to your coffee, you're counteracting that effect. You're getting the benefits of coffee without the cardiovascular stress. And there's one more cardiovascular benefit that deserves attention. Cinnamon helps prevent blood clots. It has antiplatelet properties, which means it prevents blood cells from clumping together abnormally. This is similar to what aspirin does, but without the side effects. By preventing abnormal clotting, cinnamon reduces your risk of heart attack and stroke. Imagine starting every morning with a drink that simultaneously protects your heart, supports your brain, stabilizes your blood sugar, reduces inflammation, and boosts your metabolism. That's exactly what cinnamon coffee does. And it costs almost nothing compared to prescription medications that try to do the same things with a long list of side effects. How to actually use this information? Now, you might be wondering exactly how to prepare this. It's not complicated, but there are a few important details you need to know to get the maximum benefit. First, the type of cinnamon matters. There are two main types of cinnamon available in stores: Ceylon cinnamon and cassia cinnamon. Cassia is the more common variety. It's cheaper and it's what you'll find in most grocery stores. But cassia contains high levels of a compound called coumarin, which can be harmful to your liver in large doses. Ceylon cinnamon, on the other hand, contains very little coumarin. It's sometimes called true cinnamon. It's a bit more expensive, but it's worth it if you're going to be consuming cinnamon daily. You can find Ceylon cinnamon at health food stores or online. Make sure the label specifically says Ceylon. Second, the amount matters. You don't need much. Half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon per cup of coffee is plenty. Some people start with a quarter teaspoon and work their way up. Your taste buds will adjust and you'll find the amount that works best for you. Third, timing matters. For maximum benefit, add the cinnamon directly to your coffee grounds before brewing, or stir it into your coffee right after brewing. Don't wait until your coffee is cold. The heat helps release the beneficial compounds in the cinnamon. Fourth, consistency matters. This isn't something you do once and see miracles. The benefits build over time. You need to make this a daily habit. Think of it as a health practice, not a quick fix. After about 2 weeks, you'll start noticing differences. After a month, the changes become more obvious. After 3 months, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. Now some people ask me about side effects. Cinnamon is generally very safe, but like anything, you can have too much. Stick to the recommended amounts I mentioned, and you'll be fine. If you're on blood sugar medication or blood thinners, talk to your doctor before adding large amounts of cinnamon to your diet, because cinnamon can enhance the effects of these medications. Also, if you notice any stomach upset when you first start, reduce the amount and gradually increase it. Some people have sensitive digestive systems, and cinnamon is a powerful substance. Give your body time to adjust. One more thing, don't ruin all these benefits by adding sugar and artificial creamers to your coffee. If you need sweetness, use a tiny amount of raw honey or stevia. If you need cream, use real cream or coconut milk, not those chemical-laden coffee creamers that are basically just sugar and vegetable oil. The goal here is to support your health, not undermine it. Every choice you make either moves you toward health or away from it. Choose wisely. Let me share something I've observed over the years. The people who implement simple natural health practices like this are the ones who thrive as they age. They're the ones who stay active and sharp into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. They're not lucky, they're not genetically blessed, they're just making better choices every single day. Your body is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal, it wants to thrive, but you have to give it the right tools. You have to stop working against it and start working with it. Adding cinnamon to your coffee is one simple tool, but it's these simple tools, used consistently, that create dramatic results over time. Think about where you want to be in 10 years, 20 years. Do you want to be dependent on a dozen medications, barely able to get through the day? Or do you want to be energetic, clear-minded, and healthy? The choice is yours, and it starts with small decisions like this one. Your morning coffee ritual can either be something that depletes you or something that nourishes you. For most people, it's been depleting them for years, and they don't even realize it, but now you know better. Now you have information that can change everything. This isn't just about coffee. This is about taking control of your health. It's about understanding that you have more power over your well-being than you've been led to believe. The medical system wants you to think you're helpless without their drugs and procedures. But the truth is, your body is the most sophisticated healing system ever created. You just need to support it properly. So tomorrow morning when you make your coffee, add that cinnamon. Make it a ritual. Make it a daily commitment to your health. And pay attention to how you feel over the coming weeks. Notice your energy levels. Notice your mental clarity. Notice any changes in your body. Keep a journal if you want. Track your progress. And remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle. There are many other simple, natural things you can do to support your health. But this is a great place to start. Because if you can't commit to adding a simple powder to your coffee, how are you going to commit to bigger health changes? Start here. Start small. But start today. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more real health information that actually works.